The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome to a very special edition of the Power Trading Hour on the heels of an FOMC announcement where, do we even have much of anything to talk about? Dow's up 9 points. The S&P cash is off by, 2 points? Volume pretty good for an FOMC day. Normally, you don't get a lot earlier in the day. A little stronger, 2.4 billion shares. That's a B with a billion. 2.4 billion shares as we start the show off today. As always, we like to come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So FOMC meeting came out. Near-term risks look roughly the same. So a whole lot of nothing, at least at the moment. I am assuming that we have some fund buyers out there in the weeds. They will get their orders together now that there's no big surprise. Look for those market on close orders as we saw yesterday. And if you don't know what market on close orders are, email me at path@tfnn.com and I will gladly send you the link as part of your ongoing education of the mechanics of the stock market. But the Reader's Digest version, their orders placed to execute at the very end of the day as to not push the price up for them when they buy a lot. Anyway, 22.78. We did get up to 22.89. I was hoping more 22.95. We could still get that. Maybe it'll take another day or so. But at that point, I suspect we're going to have a new and a vibrant signal, one that'll either say that the market's going much higher or one that says that this market is out of gas. And so probably the next 24 hours, I'm looking for a few things. We'll get into that as the show progresses. In the meantime, we like to start the show off with a little bit of history.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day, 1975, Bill Gates and Paul Allen finished writing one of the first basic languages programs for a personal computer and licensed it to Micro-Instrumentation and Telemetry Systems of Albuquerque, New Mexico, the maker of the Altair 880 PC, which I had one. I put it all together. It was sold as a kit, and I bought, I can't remember how much it was, but this is 1976 or 7. Can't remember what, maybe late 76. I remember I worked very hard to buy, I think it was almost $100 to buy the chip that the basic came in. I built the computer. My grandmother actually sewed the memory. That was back when they had a thing called core memory, which are little magnetic donuts out there. And I put it together. It played some very rudimentary games. Didn't do really much for a computer. But eventually they started getting a little better. But I did learn to program on that Altair 880. And a very interesting machine. You had a bunch of switches on the front of it. And you'd flip all the switches and you'd push a button. You'd flip all the switches and push a button. You'd flip all the switches and push a button. And after you did that for about 2 minutes, you could actually feed in this paper tape that had holes in it. And then you could actually load the operating system and then maybe do something. And God help you if the thing had the blue screen of death because you had to start all over again. It was painful, but I learned a lot. Learned to program on it in both machine code and the first version of Microsoft Basic. Very educational time out there for me. I just had a deep love of that. Waxed a lot of cars, took a lot of sports photography on Fridays and Saturday nights at local schools for the big newspaper in Kansas City to pay for it. But I had a computer, and the biggest problem I had with it was keeping my dad from playing with it. He had grown up in the days of vacuum tubes, where his vacuum tubes would actually launch nuclear weapons at Russians. And he loved the idea of actually having one that didn't have vacuum tubes and did something other than launch missiles. Anyway, unlike some of the Gates future products, it worked perfectly the first time and did fairly well. Both of these guys, both Paul Allen and Bill Gates, pretty good coders, which is not what you find a great deal anymore. They tend to be more Steve Jobs kinds of guys that are very long on the bowl and short on substance. I would think of somebody like Tesla that runs Tesla, like Musk, who runs around prognosticating about all kinds of stuff, waving his hands in the air, violating all rules of pretty much just about everything mathematical or physical. And people eat it up, or at least the media eats it up, without a word of and question, which is very interesting. I find that the only thing that he really does that seems like it's got a big edge on everybody else is the space stuff. I think his rockets are good, but he's got a little Donald Trump in him. I love the fact that when his rocket blew up, he blamed it on Russian hackers and other people trying to get it to blow up. The reason that did blow up, of course, most people don't now, 4, 5, 6 months later, no one ever hears the post-mortem on it. But they basically had the fuel and the oxidizer in one tank, a smaller tank inside the bigger tank because it was easy to keep them very cold. And the little tank inside the big tank broke and started rattling around like one of those ball bearings in a spray can. And that didn't work very well, as you saw on TV when the whole thing blew up about 1 minute after launch. But on this day in 1975, hey, we got BASIC for the Altair 880. And I think probably a year later, I actually bought it. Maybe, I think it had to be late 76, because I remember I had to wait until I had enough cash. So it probably had to be far into football season before I got it. Buying a car, buying a computer seemed the things to do back in 1976 and 7. But we will continue on. Of course, the Fed did come out, so we're kind of seeing a little bit. My guess is that we have the end of fund buying still to come. We're looking for those market on close orders. Those should give us kind of a nice little bounce up here. The question is whether or not we're going to get the kind of volume by the end of the day hold us up. Because remember, this is about as good as it gets. That is, there's money coming in, and it's not uncommon for them to mark this market up as that cash comes in. And so what do? Well, the cash comes in, market goes up a little higher. Question is, what happens the day after that when that cash is not coming in? So we got maybe another 24 hours of possible fund buying, maybe even a little bit more than 24 hours, but it's pretty close. So what happens when the music stops playing of window dressing? We'll talk about this and more.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And, just talking about computers in the den. They found the original Apollo navigation computer, which was the first real microcomputer ever made. And somehow it all got thrown in the trash and sold by the pound. And someone saw it, knew what it was, and rescued it. Many people, they show the videos of it on YouTube, and you can see them working on actually getting the data out and the program out so they can write an emulator so other people can see how some of the original code was actually written. And interestingly enough, made at MIT. There was a big brouhaha at the time about giving MIT the ability to actually build the first microcomputer that wasn't run on vacuum tubes, and some other stuff. But very interesting stuff going on. Anyway, a lot of people interested in computer history are working to put all this stuff back together. And very interesting that they found the first, all the memory and some of the other parts for the first ever microcomputer, and it looks like they're going to be able to get all that stuff put back together and into a museum. But so far, it all works. Very interesting. And what else can you say? 2281 on the S&P cash. We're going to look through some stocks out here, and of course, the most interesting are the ones that had earnings last night or this morning. We'll run through these fairly quickly. Apple, of course, the Big Mac Daddy. It had a big move after earnings, mostly because Steve Jobs, or not Steve Jobs. Now I'm having a mental blank. Because someone will let Dan will remind me. The CEO said that he's looking forward to lower taxes and repatriating some of that $260 billion that they have. Sales for the iPhone were up a little bit, but down from last year. Sales for the Macintosh have fallen off a cliff, but up a little bit more than a lot of people had thought. So why the pop? It's all about the $260 billion that might come back to anybody. Are things really getting that much better? No. Are the sales anywhere where they should have been with a Samsung over on the sidelines in a cast? I will rip that part off of Bye Bye American Pie. So, yeah. But, Samsung literally self-inflicted wound in the groin. And what happened? Did they really pour it on? The answer was no. Sales were better, but, man, they should have probably been able to get another 25% up in volume. It didn't happen. And, of course, then we have Samsung coming along in the very near future. Just the next few weeks before the new Samsung 8 comes out. Pictures have already leaked. So is there any reason to short Apple? The answer is no. And, in fact, probably no reason to short any of the big tech stock in California that have a lot of cash sitting on sidelines, because that cash can come back. They can buy shares with it. They can make a distribution to shareholder owners with it. Do they have to get any better just to tread water? The answer is no. So, again, the stocks that are most likely going to move in any kind of downtrend are going to be those that don't have huge piles of cash overseas or piles of cash whatsoever. And those are going to be the ones that are probably going to be the traders. My guess is that investors will camp on these big tech stocks that have huge cash overseas until all that cash is repatriated and put back into the system. So these things can go sideways for years. Again, probably not a lot of reason. I haven't shorted them anyway. But other than even Amazon and Facebook last earnings cycle, I said looked fairly weak. Amazon, because a lot of people were very worried about how much cash they were going to spend. I suspect that problem with Facebook has to do with some of the money being up in it. In fact, we'll look at it here when we go through some rest of them. Anyway, Apple, a nice high here. Back into the previous highs. Is the volume the 118 million shares that you wanted to see from April 28th, 2015? The answer is no, about 82. Could we get there? Yeah, might be the same. It's not going to blow away that 129 high with volume of any significance like a sign of strength, but still not bad, and still wouldn't pull the trigger short on it. Other stocks out here, ADP off about 6%. Now, for every stock like Apple, I'm seeing a ton more stocks like this, and we'll go through them all today. Automatic data processing down with volume, significant strength. Next low out here is October 21st at 84.97. And you got a gap probably about 87, which is probably the first level of support that I think that would come in for ADP. AMD, a ton of shorts on this. And were the earnings all that good? The answer is no. And you have to kind of worry about it. But if they burn through some more shorts, this is one of the reasons why I'm trying to remember the last time I shorted a stock under 30 bucks. I think it was 26 bucks. It's just a horrible thing to do. And again, if you can find a stock with a huge short interest and you got some kind of edge, wait for the squeeze and run with it. I think that they've got bigger problems down the road. So I'm not a big fan of AMD out here. APC. Again, you can get to my newsletter, and this is a very good time if you're interested in the daily newsletter to go to the front page of TFNN and get a 30-day trial. I've got a lot of things brewing here, and it looks like maybe they will be close to coming to fruition in the next couple of days. So probably not a bad time to take a look at it. Anadarko Petroleum, not a lot of movement in this one. But you would like this thing to get back to 62 bucks on light volume if you want to be long it. I don't see any reason to be anywhere else on it at the time. I don't see any big short. What else did we have out here? Baby. What is Nautilus? Baby products of some kind. I can't remember. I keep forgetting. Again, down, volume picking up. You got a high volume, kind of low sector down here from December, but 33.15 looks like a good target on that. BXP, which is off 0.5%. Didn't get a lot of movement out here on Boston properties, but it is below the 3x3 displaced moving average, which sets this thing up to go back. Not bad, but maybe $126. I think there's some other ones out here that are probably better than that to look at it. Dominion Resources, another one of the oil patch guys. Cabbage Patch Kids, Oil Patch Kids, down, huge volume. You know, I don't see any reason why this won't go back to the November 14th low at $68.78. So a handful up, mostly sideways, and some giant losers. We'll be back with this and more on an action-packed, thrill-packed edition of the Power Trading Hour.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Claro out with earnings. Nice little move down on this one, although it got a great deal of that back. Got to 877. I was looking at it earlier. I think that's a real tick. Came back to hit this gap up, sign of strength, and turned right around. But a little tougher to figure out that one. And what else do we have? Tupperware, TUP. This one, nice little reversal ABC signal. Would have been nice to get this thing up just a little bit more into this gap at 63 to pull the trigger. But yesterday you had, well, how much volume? You had 1.7 million shares go into the gap down that had 1.6. So not a real good indication out here. Energy off the bottom was about the same on the way back down. So no real clear signals on that one. I wouldn't have been able to pull the trigger. UNG. USG, excuse me, up 27 cents. Of course, the proverbial housing stock as they make drywall, and up a little bit, volume a little bit, but this thing runs into a heap of trouble at 31 bucks with this last gap down with 3.4 million shares. So today we're going to have about the same. But either 31 bucks or 32 bucks, I suspect this thing is going to tap out, especially with the Fed basically mute on the option of 3 rate hikes this year. So we're probably looking at the next one in the May timeframe, maybe April. April. I'll have to look at the Fed futures rates, but my guess is that we're probably talking about that for the next one, probably late summer for the next one after that, and then October for the next one. So right now, looks like 3 rate hikes are scheduled yet this year. So we'll see how the market actually develops into that throughout the end of the day. We're up what 2 points in the S&P cash. I was hoping 22.95 or something, and maybe it'll take till tomorrow to bounce a bit, shake a few shorts, and then give us an opportunity to see whether or not it's time to short or time to go long and head higher. I'm not optimistic at the moment, though. Okay, what else do we have out here? Let's get to some of my scans that we can look at here. We'll go to percent decliners. Already did ADP, kind of the big loser of the day. Boot Barn Holdings. This kind of moved down, although it's reversed its way out here. Now, the one that really kind of surprised me was CCJ. I thought maybe this thing would come back down on lighter volume and set up a buy. It didn't. It fell out of bed like the weak sister and right back down to the 1071 January 18th low. Is it going? There today needs another 30 cents lower. But, you had this kind of high 10 area, $11 level as support. Maybe it can go sideways and burn some of this energy off. My guess, though, is the big gap down today for 10s and move back down to about 960. Of course, everybody and their dog and their dog's dog is building a nuclear reactor in the Far East, in Russia, literally everywhere. And probably going to have a lot of need for uranium in the future. This may just be the original advertisement. You still have a high volume high at $13.33. If this could get back down to maybe 960, very light volume, go sideways for a little while, you may have a nice trading range set up in this. CTXS dropped out of bed, maybe even a bigger loser. This one blew all the way back down to a gap at 70 bucks. And you really don't have anything to hold this thing back from the $60.91 low. Again, I'm saying that there's kind of a theme out here, and that is that Apple given a lot of love, a lot of attention, a lot of these other stocks falling out of bed. Paycom, another one down on volume today on earnings. This one had up volume again. $39.15 is its next check-in from the November 10th low, $39.15. Pitney Bowes, another one. Stamps.com looks like it's eating its lunch, dinner, breakfast, and probably even its kids' food. This blew through all the lows of November 4th at $14.04, down to a low of $12.41 with a monster. I mean, incredible. Godzilla meets, what was the other thing that used to fly around? Mothra. Godzilla meets Mothra meets Frankenstein, kind of monster-like a volume all the way back for Pitney Bowes. Stamp business kind of going away. Synergy Pharmaceuticals, one of the ones that did pop out here yesterday, and a big reversal on news and earnings today. SPR, which is Spirit Aero Systems, and one that fell out of bed on news today, volume picking up. Back down to its $55.21 low. SSW, which is C-SPAN Corporation, another one falling out of bed, gapping down, more volume, just 20, 30 cents away from its November 9th low that had 1.75 million shares. You already got 2.5. So you're going to get 3. You're probably going to get close to double the volume of this previous low. So watch out for that. BBK, the Bank Corp, this thing falling out of bed the last 2 days on monstrous volume blowing out. It's October 28th low. If you're starting to get a theme out here, we're just in the percent decliners. Let's go over and take a look at the percent advancers on the day and see what these did. Of course, we've already talked about Apple, but don't we always? Allergen, nice little pop on this one. Again, kind of the big cap versus the mid cap, small cap business. AMD, probably just because this thing's way too short. The numbers were not all that great. AVY, which is Avery Dennison. Nice one up here, but man, you got to watch out for this pop. This thing's got a doji that looks like the Death Star doji. You open and down tomorrow a buck or two. This could be making one of the most nasty candles in the world. Has enough volume today. No reason not to hold it if you're long. If it gaps back down, every reason to Amscray Adelaide is my pig Latin needs work, doesn't it? Cara Therapeutics back up to its previous high, but kind of dying on the vine right here. Energy good on that one, by the way. Intermedics, GSM, which is Global Specialty Metals, back up. Volume just a little bit better than the last time up here of 1.64 million shares. Not holding the high, though, and volume is going to be better. So not a short, but certainly kind of worrying that it's not able to hold the high. IC Underwear, IC France, IC Bank Limited. IBM is the symbol. You won't forget that one, will you? Back up here into its gap. Nice gap up. Decent volume, but not all that exciting. MTOR, which is Mariner. MTOR, nice. Gap higher. Good candle. Back up through some highs, but no real sign of strength on that one. We come back, go through some of the bigger movers today as we watch the end of the day. Where we've gone -1 on the S&P cash. This still shall not stand. I need higher so I can get some.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And we're back. Meritor, nice move up here and back through previous highs. Volume's okay, but not all that exciting. What else do we have on the list out here? SPAR. Spartan Motors. Don't know much about this one. Nice move up. No volume today in that one. WNC, which is Wabash National Corporation. A huge move on this one. And I'll have to find out more about it. Through 2 years. Let's go through 3 years. What has this thing got? 2 years. 3 years. Man, this thing is gone, isn't it? Wabash National Corporation. What do these guys do? Nice breakout. Nice continuation. Come on, Mr. Wabash. Give it to me. Designs markets in trucks and tank trailers and intermodal equipment, transportation and related products in North America. Oh, yeah, lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. All for moving pipeline stuff. Everybody likes this one. Didn't know that was a play. WNC. Let's take a look at some of the other stocks of interest, at least to me, that came through my scans, and we'll take a look at those today. Wanted to see AAL and how it was doing. Trying to find some support in these gaps that go back to the 15th of November. 13 million shares. Got into it with 11 million shares, so I wouldn't be buyer. But again, it is coming through with a little lighter volume, and this 43 area becoming a support for American Airlines. ACAD, is there anything really in this one? And just back up to resistance today. ACIA, which is Acadia Communications. Want to see how this one did against its previous low of January 10th, $56.31 with 4 million shares. Not holding the low out here, but much lighter volume today of just 1.7 million shares compared to the 7 million shares a little bit ago. Angie's List, we talked about this one for a while, making lighter volume, still lighter volume through to the July 8th low. So we'll keep an eye on that. Bruker, Frau Brooker. I can't do it. I need to do a horse whinny for those people that are young Frankenstein. 4.8 million shares is what this gap down on August 3rd of 2016. Massive volume. It's back up in here with this 700,000 shares. Today, if I did short stocks under $30, I'd be looking at this one out here today, because this may be all she wrote, for then a retest back to the $19.55 low. CX, which is CEMEX, has been bouncing around these highs. Kind of looked at this one at maybe, let's do a little shorter one out here, maybe running into, again, as good as it gets out here. Down volume, not all that exciting, but these cement companies, of course, maybe looking a little weaker out here. Maybe they don't, maybe they build 9/10 of the wall, not all 100% of it. Who knows? Equinix, EQIX is the symbol on this one, down a little bit. A lot of these stocks look like they're getting ready to roll maybe out here, so I'm kind of watching them fairly closely, seeing if any volume comes in. Francesca Holding, some of these retail stocks look like they're about as washed out as they can get. Still do not like the long side of these trades, but I certainly would not be short some of these. There were more than a few of these that I ran across today, which makes me think that maybe some of these retail stocks have had enough. This one's actually not a bad-looking chart out here. I don't know enough about what Francesca does, but good-looking Wyckoff pattern out here at 16 bucks. GALT, which is GALT, what is it? Galectin Therapeutics. Again, kind of just going sideways out here, but keep an eye on this if you're playing the pennies. GNRT, nice pop out here on General 8 Marine Time. GNRT, $5 stock, kind of getting into the resistance level. What else is going on out here? See a few of these out here. HZO, which is supposed to be H2O, which is Marine Max, the big seller of Sea Ray boats, other boats around the country. I'm actually going to do some consulting for a big marine outfit here in the coming weeks and months, but who knows? Anyway, back up to the highs. Keep an eye on this one in the last couple of days, especially if crude goes higher into the springtime. A little tough on boats. I think crude's going down, so this one may be a breakout candidate. Certainly broke out a few days ago on volume, and now looks like it might have some continuation. Those may be the canary in the coal mine as to what crude is actually going to do, higher or lower. Winnebago, HZO, keep an eye on those for your crude canary in the coal mine plays. Icon PLC, ICLR, this breaking through its previous high today on half the volume. So keep a good eye on that. L Brands, again, I was talking about how some of these stocks probably won't play them, but they didn't look all that bad at the lows. In fact, this one did everything that you pretty much would want to do for a retail stock, except come down on lighter volume. It came down on too much for me, which means that you'd have to wait for this thing to consolidate out for a while. But May 19th, $58.48, 10 million shares. Got into it yesterday with 5 million shares. So into a previous low with 5 million shares. Can it get a bounce? The answer is yes. Maybe 65 bucks in it. But to me, the better play out here would wait for this thing to bounce around, consolidate. The volume probably come in at like 3 million shares back at this $58 level, and a much safer entry. MSG Networks. I don't know if I'd want to be known as MSG. Message Networks, but not MSG. Makes me sound like bad food in an Oriental restaurant. But it's breaking out, but no volume. This thing looks like it's going to close right back into the trading range today. So it turtled, it did its prairie dogging, and it came back into the room. Cambridge Displays Technologies back up in its gap that had huge volume. It's kind of playing and turning around here a little bit. Energy off this low, not all that exciting from the November 30th low. TRST, which is Tresco Bank Corp, and not much in that. UNG, we were talking about this one yesterday. I'm going to follow up a little bit, and that is that it should be at some level of support. I talked to Andy Heck about it during Tom's show yesterday, and it seemed to me like this big gap, it was coming in out here on lighter volume. The problem Andy brought up is there anything out here to say that it does anything other than go sideways, just sub $8? And you really don't have, you're going to have to find some kind of cold snap out here that really goes through a lot of natural gas. Nothing on the horizon now, just to see if this thing can hold 780 for a while. VEU, oh, we're going to run out of time here. And again, let's just check back in here with the S&P. Well, we're off 3 points in the S&P. Couldn't bounce out here. It is fun buying. Look for those orders to come in around 3:30 as they did yesterday. Volume 2.7 billion shares. Doesn't seem like we're going to catch a bid out here. Probably going to get some fun buying in the next 24 hours. But that's probably going to be it. That may be as good as she gets, folks.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we're looking at the TLT. Energy already off this 123 high from January 12th is already up 30% from the energy up from this December 14th low. Now, there could be a change somewhere that I'm unaware of, but to me, this thing looks like it's got a probably 85 or 90% chance of testing the 116.80 low from December 14th. I can't see thinking that being long bonds is a good idea until that test comes back in. Again, probably I think we started talking about this in the fall. This is the most important chart, I think, that you can look at every day, followed up by the dollar. The dollar, by the way, looks like it's kind of sneaking back up to that 100 level. Close back up above 100, I think, would pop it back up to about 102. So no projections yet because it hasn't done it. But look for any dollar index back into the 100s tomorrow to mean that we've had a false break down in the dollar index, and it's going to pop right back into the upper trading range, which is 102 to 104.5. So no projections yet. Just keep an eye on it. If it does pop back there tomorrow, may give you a good indication. I suspect that TLT is it has been, and we've talked about it since it was back up at 128, leading the direction of a lot of these interrelated products. And the dollar index probably also may give us an indication if it gets back above that 100 mark and how it trades above that 100 in the short term. Anyway, looking for 116.80 for the test of the December 14th low on the TLT. Of course, after the bell tonight, we've got Amazon. It did rather poorly last time. I thought maybe it was setting up for a move back to 660, and for the most part, it got down to 720, turned around, and that was kind of mostly it. You just, it's kind of tough to see. It's not that far away from its high yet again. But again, let's talk about the energy in my power law vector indicator from the last time up out here. Again, any of these stocks that have huge cash positions, in the case of Amazon and Monopoly, its problem is twofold. One, they're spending lots of cash. Saw the article yet again today where they're building an airport hub in Kentucky, I think it was. Going to spend $1.5 billion for that. They've bought 40 airplanes. Look like they're going to buy more. And the question is, what point do the feds come in and scream, which I'm thinking is probably more than a 75% chance that they're going to run into the feds on antitrust violations. And even then, there is one other thing that's been circling the Washington, D.C. the last couple of days, and that is another one of those famous executive orders for the Treasury Department to start collecting sales tax across borders. Amazon still does this across about 20 different states. I think we pay it already here in Florida now, mostly because they have a shipping facility here in Florida. If you don't have Amazon facility in your state, you really don't pay sales tax. Most of them don't. And this edict would force the act, what's the name of that act across state lines for commerce? I think it's called the Commerce Clause, isn't it? Maybe somebody, constitutional scholar, will be out here. But they are pushing this around, and I don't know if you could see that any day. I don't like the risks in Amazon. I would be short it. I don't like the risks. Volume's about the same. We'll know tonight, won't we? Anyway, light volume up off the low, which is probably the worst part of it, and how much money are they going to spend. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.